All right, let me see if I live. Yes, we are indeed live. What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Football Chatbox. My name is Ryan, and welcome to the Game Week 10 team selection stream. Hope you are all doing well. Sam, how are things going? Welcome, welcome. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. So let's see how we go in terms of the stream. Can I get all the messages up? Here we go. I think this is fine. Let's see, everything is looking good. Yes, everything's looking good. All right, so let's first start with the game week. If you haven't seen the game week review, you would have. If you saw the game week review, actually, you would have seen my score. Not the best. It is what it is. 40 points. The attack. Not a single player in the attack actually returned, which was actually very disappointing, especially since I had Roden on my bench with 13 points. Also didn't help. It was the defense that mainly got the points, except for Tarkovsky, which is a disappointment. However, I made 3 transfers with my 3 free transfers, and I made them all on a Monday because obviously I was traveling, so I kind of didn't want to get priced out of certain moves and all of that. So I made my transfers. Thankfully, no injuries, so I have managed to get a bit lucky with that by doing early transfers. So we are this is how the team looks like at the moment. As things stand, things might change. I think maybe I should probably play Taco ahead of Tennessee, to be honest. That might actually be the better way of approaching this. So basically I'll tell you guys the 3 free transfers. As you guys can see, my front line has kind of changed from the team selection I showed you. Both Gyökeres and Joe Pedro have left the team. And Reinders also left the team, and I bought in Danny Welbeck, Mateta, and Brian Mbeumo. All 3 players I mentioned on the Game Week review stream. So hopefully these guys can return for me this week. We will have to wait and see. Captaincy, I'm kind of undecided. I'm flipping between Saka and Haaland. I don't really know exactly where to go with that one. 50-50 on that one. Actually, that could be either one of them, to be honest, at this moment. So not really sure on that. Ndai, I would love to start Ndai because I think he's been playing really well. The only thing with Ndai is, unfortunately for him, the teammates he has around him aren't the best. Like, they just don't they don't finish the chances that he creates. That's the only thing that's a bit annoying. So that's why, and also it's Sunderland at home, and I think Sunderland are a good team. I think that caused a real problem for Everton, which is why I was thinking actually to probably start Tennessee over Tarkovsky. But actually, when you think about it, DEFCON wise, even Tarkovsky, even if you concede one, potentially might outscore Tennessee. Don't know. That's a bit of a 50-50 on that one. Goalkeeper wise as well, I was thinking maybe I start Dubravka over Petrovic, and Dubravka won't keep a clean sheet, neither will Petrovic, to be honest, probably. But there's potentially a higher chance that Dubravka makes a lot more saves and concedes a less number of goals, because Arsenal seem to be 1-0 in every game. So whereas Bournemouth versus City, this could be like a goal scoring fiesta on both sides potentially. And that potentially would mean that Petrovic probably ends up with a 1-pointer compared to Dubravka, who could even end up with a 3-pointer. So it's like small margins that we're comparing, but it's a possibility. Those are like a few decisions that I have to kind of think about. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about that as well. Mikkel, welcome. How are you doing? I've got teams as well sent, I think on the Discord, as well as Sam's team will load up as well. The Discord we've got from Becky, which I will load up as well. Let me just load Becky's team up here as well. But we'll open Sam's one first because Sam is here. I don't know if Becky's still here, but I can reply to Becky on the Discord as well. But let's see. Sam, which is Frank's Army 99. Sam is right behind me in terms of rank. He is catching on the same points as me. It's going to be a very interesting game week this week. Alright, Sam, this is Sam's team, obviously. We got up here. I have Mbeumo as captain this week. Oh, that's also not a bad shout now that you mention it. Since I bought him in as well, I don't mind putting the armband on him as well, potentially. He can bag a goal Who is this? Who are we talking about? Saka, Haaland, Mbuemo. I also, the reason I added Gabriel in the captaincy discussion is because of Arsenal's, like, if they keep 1-0 in everything, and to be honest, Gabriel could have scored last week as well. If this guy can get like DEFCON, bonus points, I mean, a 10-point haul from a defender, you take a 10-point haul from a defender, right? The only thing is, I always look at it as ooh, attackers always have the higher upside potentially. But honestly, an Arsenal defender is also not a bad shout. But to be honest, yeah. Storm, welcome. Hope you're doing well. So this is Sam's team. Sam, what is the plan? Yeah, Gabriel, Danburn, Taco, Foden, Kudus, Caicedo, Semenyo, Walter Mada, Gyökeres, and Haaland. You have Ismail Sarr, who will be starting this week for sure. Mukiele, would you start Mukiele or not? But Mbuemo for Foden early in the week because I would have been outpriced. Just need help who to start. So Mbuemo starts. Ismail Sarr should start as well. Who do you bench? Kudus, Caicedo. Spurs have been unbeaten away compared to Spurs at home. Spurs at home has been a bit more of a not the best fixtures for Spurs recently. Caicedo will get DEFCON. Currently Caicedo on the bench, but Spurs buys creeping in. I didn't know that Spurs were apparently unbeaten away from home recently, which is a good deal for Spurs. Now, the other thing is Spurs haven't looked the best when playing at home. Is that a bit more like, Caicedo will Chelsea own us as well. Yeah, Caicedo will get DEFCON, right? I think you slightly put it towards Caicedo. Slight edge. It's like a 4-pointer versus a 2-pointer, potentially even a 1-pointer. It's a derby game, right? I won't be surprised if Kudus gets a yellow card or something in this game. Maybe Caicedo until last night. Last night you guys, it was Newcastle at home, right? League Cup. But in the league, you guys have been better, I'd say. I'd probably start Caicedo over Kudus potentially. And obviously Ismail Sarr will come in. Kudus probably first bench. The question for you is Mukiele. Do you start Mukiele this week over Tarkowski? That's a potential discussion point as well. Interesting. 5 votes and 0 sakas. Kudus wanted to knock Joelinton out. So you're saying he's going to get a yellow card in the upcoming derby. But it's more likely that Chelsea get a red card. You guys should check the odds for Chelsea red cards this week. The amount of red cards this team has been getting is insane. I've got Mikel's team that has been sent as well. I know Freddie has sent his team as well. Freddie won't be joining us, but he will be watching this back as well. So I will load his team up as well. And then we'll load Mikel's team that I've just received as well. That's Mikel's team. So this is Sam's team. So Sam will have to see what he's planning on doing in terms of, I think Sarr for Kudus potentially. Obviously, Mbuemo there. Who's your captain, Sam? That's the other question. And then let me quickly read Freddie's team out as well. So this was Freddie's team. He's gone for Rea, Mukiele, Van de Ven, Gabriel, Saka, Semenyo, Bruno, Endai, Sarr, Mateta, Haaland, Dubravka, Richards, Senesi, and Mark Yu on the bench. These are the potential transfers he's looking to do, bringing in Mateta and Sarr. And he's probably going to do it now because he's going to be priced out. Otherwise, that's the plan, which I don't mind at all. Team looks pretty good as well, not going to lie. He's also looking to bring in Saka and Kieli as well. So it's a 4 free transfer move. I don't mind those moves, to be honest. Don't mind them at all. Starting Van de Ven. Honestly, at this point, I am a bit worried to keep suggesting to bench Van de Ven because now every time I say it, this man just finds a way to get set piece goals, man. It's so annoying. Like, you guys, like we suggest, because when you look at the fixture, you go, okay, probably should be benching Van de Ven here. But then he goes and scores a goal, and then you're like, oh my days, why? Yeah, I probably don't mind this. Richards on the bench, honestly, I don't really mind it too much. It's not a bad call because Brentford have been somewhat decent from set pieces and like long throws and whatnot. They might get something. Yeah, I don't mind this team actually from Freddie at all. No problems. What about Timber as captain? Ooh, that's not a bad shot. But the thing is, Timber's chances of bonus points are not as high compared to, for example, Gabriel's. If Timber was more on the bonus points, potentially might have been a shout as well, to be honest. Let me have a look at Timber in terms of bonus. He's gone up. I wish he didn't get a price rise because I might have now because I've sold Gyökeres. I have space for a second Arsenal defender, but now Timber went and got a like he went up in price, and now I'm like I can't do Tarkowski to Timber anymore. So I'm probably going to get a Palace defender potentially from next week, maybe Guehi or something like that. So we'll see. Haven't decided yet on that one. But we were looking at Timber in terms of bonus potential. Being small. Can you guys see this and all? Like, is it too small for you guys? Because I'm on my laptop because I'm still not at home, so we're still kind of traveling. So because of that, I'm streaming from the laptop. So bonus points. Yeah, he's only got like 3 in the first game week. Timber's bonus points are not that great generally. It's Gabriel who tends to sweep up most of the bonus from the defenders. What's his DEFCON ability? 968676344. Yeah, nah. I probably wouldn't put it on Timber. If he had a higher flow, I might have thought about it. I did transfer out Van der Ven Game Week 9. Oh. It is what it is. It is what it is. Hello, man. All I'm rolling. I know Andy is rolling. What a day to be alive. Thoughts on Gyökeres captain is tempting. Not in the current form. Not in the current form at all. Nice haircut. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think Haaland at home is a no-brainer for me. Fair. I think that's actually probably true. I probably should think about. I should probably put it on Haaland. I was looking at projected points. Haaland is the highest projected points for this week. This is from Solio Analytics. They've got Haaland as the highest projected points, so probably fair points actually. But yeah, it's a 50-50 call for me for that one. Sold Joe Pedro for Walter Mada, guaranteed Joe Pedro 20 pointer now. Let's not hope so because I went and sold Joe Pedro as well. Well, thankfully, a certain Liam Delap, he played for Chelsea a few minutes and decided, I don't really want to play again, so I'm going to go and get a red card. Went and got himself a red card, which means he's unavailable for the upcoming week's fixture and will be back for game week 11? Yes, he'll be back for game week 11 to face Wolves. So, well done, Liam Delap. Good one on you, which means Joe Pedro still doesn't have a number 9 to kind of play. So, yeah, it is what it is. But, yeah, I hope Joe Pedro doesn't now go and get points because it would be very funny. I trust in Sir Danny Welbeck. Go on, lad. 32 or 33-year-old man. You got this, my friend. Panikwan, welcome. Should I bench boost this week with the players? Let's have a look. Also, before I get to Anikwan's question, for those of you who have the free hit chip, if you have the free hit chip, save your free hit chips. There's a potential for a blank game week. Andy mentioned this so many weeks ago where he said that could happen. There's a potential for a blank game week in game week 17. And the reason for that is since Crystal Palace beat Liverpool, in game week 17, they have a fixture on the same time as their League Cup fixture. I think it's game week 17. I need to check that again. But yes, which means that fixture in the which means that because of the fixture clash with the League Cup and the European competition, they're going to have to move the Premier League fixture as well, so they can readjust the fixtures and put the League Cup somewhere as well. So the Premier League fixture will move, which is most likely that we're probably going to see a blank game week, unless the Premier League go and say, no, you need to still play it in this specific game week, where they just put it early in the game week or something. And then like not Liverpool, Crystal Palace don't really have that many rest days between matches. That is one possibility. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But because Crystal Palace will blank, their opponents for the League Cup, who are Arsenal, will also have their fixture changed. So Arsenal will also end up blanking. So there are 4 teams that will be affected by this. Crystal Palace and their game week 17 opponents in, let me have a look. Game week 17 opponents in Leeds. A lot of you have Palace, a lot of you have Leeds, at least one Leeds player. And Arsenal, who play Wolves, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of you have. Oh no, Arsenal play Everton, which probably some of you do have. Arsenal, obviously a lot of you have, so that's going to be an issue. There is a possibility Arsenal's fixture moves to game week 16, which means Arsenal could end up having Wolves as the Wolves as the team to play against. So few things to consider. If you have free hit, if you have bench boost as well, potentially. But we need to wait and see exactly when these dates are going to be set. That's one thing to kind of keep an eye out for. But yeah, if you have a free hits, save it, is what I would say. Is there a blank though? There should be a blank. Well, who's the best person to look into this is Mr. Ben Grellin. What did he put? Let me actually get it back to you guys. What he actually put. Here we go. So the potential teams blanking in game week 17 are Leeds, Crystal Palace, Everton, Arsenal. So if Crystal Palace versus Leeds and Everton versus Arsenal are postponed to make room for Arsenal versus Palace in the EFL Cup quarterfinals on the weekend of game week 17, Palace versus Leeds would be extremely unlikely to be rescheduled in the first half of the season. Ooh, that means Palace could have a double later in the second half of the season. For those of you who would obviously have bench boost for second half of the season, that's where we probably have Palace and Leeds. Everton versus Arsenal could be brought forward to the midweek in game week 16. It's hard to say how likely this is. A double game week 16 for those teams would be Arsenal versus Wolves and Everton versus Chelsea and Arsenal. So the likely is Arsenal potentially double, and Palace versus Leeds blank alongside Arsenal and Everton. So bench boost, honestly, it doesn't look too. I mean, I don't know what the rest of the players and the fixtures will look like. But the bench boost, you probably don't have to worry if you've already played your bench boost. For those of you who already played it, you were most likely anyway starting your Arsenal players against Wolves. Now you have the added benefit of Everton as well, which means for those of you who have Everton players like myself, could potentially keep your Everton players if you wanted to. And now you have the added benefit of maybe thinking of actually starting them in this game week, whereas previously you might have not started them potentially. So yeah, I don't know. Bench boost might not be too much of an issue. It's a free hit chip that you might need for game week 17, since most of us have like triple up on like Arsenal, maybe tripled up or doubled up on Palace, doubled up or having at least one Everton player, having one Leeds player. So a lot of us are going to be affected in game week 17 mainly. We will all have our chips. Yeah, second half of the season we'll all have our chips. So maybe it's free hit on blank week because we got most of those players we didn't. Yes, we have a lot of us have a lot of like players from most of us have players from each team, right? Most likely, or at least 3 teams you have players from. So maybe save your free hit for game week 17. If you have your bench boost, you could potentially play it in 16, maybe. But we need to get confirmation on whether this fixture actually moves or not. So yeah, wait, once we get more info, I will definitely update you guys, but save your chips for now is what I would say in terms of the free hit chip at least. Now, that takes me to Mikel and his team. Manish, welcome. How are you doing? Show my team. I'll load it up as well. Give me a few minutes. This is Mikel's team, if I am not mistaken. So Mikel has Pope, Calafiori, Guehi, Timber, Dan Burn, Embuemo with the armband, Declan Rice, Sa, Mateta, Waltemada, and Haaland. So he's done 2 transfers. He's bought in Brian Mbeumo and Ismail Sarr this week. On the bench, he's got Donnarumma, Enzo, Senesi, and Semenyo. Semenyo on the bench. Ooh, very interesting. Very interesting. Honestly, can't really blame it, because if you look at the defense, all of those defenders are very likely to probably get you clean sheets. Maybe Dan Burn questionable, but could get a clean sheet the way West Ham are playing. So honestly, can't blame it. If anything, maybe you could potentially put Senes. You could put Semenyo as second sub if you wanted to. That's the only thing, maybe. Or even first sub. Although Enzo first sub is also not too bad, to be honest. What was the question from Mikel? I wish I had my bench boost left. Ooh, how much did he get from the first bench boost? And then Wanikwan, I was supposed to answer your question. Wanikwan said, should I bench boost this week with these players? Tarkowski, Grealish, Senesi, Semenyo, Paqueta, Anthony have 5 free transfers. So Jaden Anthony is playing Burnley, right? So I'm playing Arsenal. That's not the best of fixture for him. Senesi and Semenyo against City. Maybe for Semenyo, not too bad. Paqueta against Newcastle. Newcastle traveling aren't necessarily the best, so maybe there's something there. Tarko and Grealish against Sunderland. That is going to be a slightly tougher fixture. What's your starting 11, Wanikwan? What's your starting 11 looking like? What's the starting 11 looking like? I'm interested to know what your starting 11 looks like as well. 5 points on my bench boost. Oh, that is unfortunate. It is unfortunate indeed. I've played my chips well so far, says Sam. Fair. I'm going to triple captain on the double and free hit the blank easy. Triple captain on the double. Oh, now that you remind me. I haven't actually thought of when to play the triple captaincy chip. But thank you for reminding me. I didn't even consider when to actually play this triple captaincy chip. Honestly, triple captaincy, now, Saka might be the leading candidate, but Gabriel versus Wolves and Everton, I mean, if Arsenal keep 2 clean sheets and he gets a couple bonus in either game or both games and gets DEFCON even in one of those games, Gabriel could be up there as well. But yeah, Saka is also potentially up there as well. I mean, that's not a bad call. That is not a bad call. I potentially might keep my triple captaincy for the double and free hit for the blank. Those are the last 2 chips I have anyways. So for this first half of the season. Fair. So save your triple captaincy chips as well is the call. So yeah, this is Mikel's team as well. Not too bad. I don't mind the Brian Mbeumo captaincy shout, not gonna lie. I don't mind it at all. In terms of points for Brian Mbeumo, he expected points I don't think is as high. 4.71. Not high up there. But that's because they're playing Forest. I think in terms of expectations, United are still not really highly considered. Maybe there's some caution behind it, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't mind actually Mbeumo. He'll potentially get even an assist, maybe. All right, Manish is in the chat as well, which is this team I'm going to bring up from Manish. So this is Manish's team, who is in the chat. And also, if you guys want me to bring your teams, let me know. So this is Rufus, Munoz, Gabriel, Timber, Guehi, Mbeumo, Caicedo, Semenyo, Xhaka, Haaland, and Bowen. This is from Manish, with Haaland with the armband. On the bench, it's got Dubravka, Enzo, Senesi, and Isidore. I don't mind that. Yeah, I don't mind this at all, this team as well. Maybe Isidore, you could potentially even have him as first sub if you really wanted to, but that defense is fine. Rufus, in terms of goal, is fine as well. Xhaka over Isidore. Yeah, it's okay. Isidore is a starting striker for Sunderland. Yes? Why am I wrong? I'm wondering whether you should start Isidore, but then it's against Everton, and picking Sunderland attackers is not as easy. Hmm. Yeah, honestly, I don't mind you starting Jaka, to be honest, as well. That piece, you never know, might get something. So this is Manisha's team. Did I miss anyone? So I'm waiting for One in terms of what his starting 11 looks like. And is he still thinking of saving the bench boost after the discussion we just had um, in terms of the blanks and the doubles? But however, Vanikwan has to make a free transfer because he has 5 free transfers, so he definitely needs to be looking to make some moves. Do you have any Palace players, Vanikwan? Is the other question. If Mbuemo scores this week, he becomes a must-buy. Man United actually chance created are very high. Yes, and he's returning 3 and 3 now. That's a midfield on fire in the Prem. Yeah, that's kind of why I went and bought him in as well. I did mention him last week as well. I did tell you guys if you wanted a United player, the best one you can go and get, I feel like, is Mbuemo at this moment. And then this is Manisha's, which we just had a look at, and then this is Becky's team. And Becky basically has said. Thoughts on a -4 hit for Diouf to Gabriel, JP to Welbeck wildcard tentative plan is game week 14 or 15. I don't mind this as well. Don't mind this at all. Which means she'll probably be playing Verbruggen, starting Verbruggen alongside Gabriel Munoz and Roden or Senesi, one of the two. Probably play everyone except for KDH. KDH versus Josh King, probably start Josh King, start the entire front line. Yeah, yeah, I don't mind this team as well. This is for Becky's team. Just wait a week now. This Embuemo, it's a hard game, and United have Forest are a lot better now. True. But he's on fire. He's on form. Well, too late for me now. I went and bought him in. And the reason I bought him in is I didn't want to be priced out. Well, technically, I have cash in the bank. But I was going to try and keep this 0.5 for another defender move, which I ended up getting priced out for. I was planning on doing Tarkowski to Timber next week, but unfortunately, Timber has gone up in price. So now I'll have a look at another player instead. But if Everton are actually going to get a double in 16, maybe I save my Tarkowski transfer for now. Or I just probably sell and then buy back later when needed, to be honest. That's also not a bad option. I can do that potentially. I probably might do that actually. Sell for now and buy back later when needed. I don't want to say it, but I think cash is a buy. Yes. Aston Villa fixtures, I did mention. I think when I said Aston Villa fixtures, I think it was game week. Was it game week 11 that I mentioned Aston Villa fixtures? Or was it game week 12? I think game week 11. Yes, I mentioned from game week 11 onwards after the Liverpool game. But given the way Liverpool are playing, I don't mind buying him now itself because they're conceding. However, I still think game week 11 onwards might be a good shout to get in Aston Villa defense. Matty Cash getting some goals. They actually Aston Villa have improved over the last couple of weeks. They've been winning most of their games. Up the Villa, we are proud sponsors of what you are not here in Man City. Fans hate him. Thoughts on Senesi? I know fixtures change, but I'm starting to get fed up with him a bit. I don't mind if you. Ooh. Well, if you want to sell, I don't mind too much, especially if it's for a Crystal Palace defender. There's still 2 good fixtures, like West Ham, Sunderland, Everton are still 3 good fixtures in that block. So I still don't mind keeping him because Bournemouth are still pretty decent. They haven't been keeping clean sheets recently, which is annoying. Add to that, he's getting DEFCON, but then he also tends to get yellow cards, and because of that, it's a bit of a pain. He's also on a suspension tightrope, isn't he? How many yellow cards is away from getting suspended? I need to have a look because he's on a slight tightrope of suspension as well. So that's something to kind of keep an eye out for as well. But honestly, If you're selling for Palace defense, I don't mind. If you can hold, play 12, 13, 14, good fixtures, I think. Chad, welcome. All I bought in Chelsea players last week, they hurt my feelings. Oh, it is what it is. I might try switching some Arsenal. Yeah, fair enough. I don't mind that. There's better defenders. Okay, there maybe. I think Matty Cash. So if you're looking to buy defenders, game week 11 maybe Cash could become an option. Arsenal defense is up there, top tier. I do believe Crystal Palace defense enters the conversation now. Unfortunately, Anderson is injured, so he's out of the conversation. Newcastle about to get a slightly tougher run. So their fixtures slightly turn for defensive perspective. So you basically have Arsenal defense, Aston Villa defense, Crystal Palace defense, and that's probably it for defenders that are reliable. Yeah, that's probably it for defenders that are reliable. Everything else is like Sunderland, you play them in certain fixtures like Everton, Fulham, Bournemouth, you kind of play them in those fixtures where they could cause problems. So those teams, the tougher fixtures, you kind of bench them. Newcastle, okay for now, going to get a bit more harder later. Forest, not yet, can't trust them at the moment. Spurs, tough fixture run, even though Van der Ven is scoring goals. Leeds, fixtures have become tough. Liverpool, absolutely no, don't even trust them at the moment. The way the form they're on, you probably target Liverpool actually more than you go and buy Liverpool. City defense, I just generally don't trust City defense for some reason. I don't know. At the moment, I don't trust them. But there have been times when I've doubled up, like last season. But this, at the moment, I still think maybe wait and see. Probably game week 14 onwards, but not yet. Not yet. So yeah. I mean, 3 teams: Arsenal, Crystal Palace, Aston Villa later. I'm probably going to buy Delap for a week after this, as long as he doesn't pick up another red card. Fair enough. Palace and Newcastle defenders have not the best fixtures. Bournemouth can't keep clean sheets. Senesi is going off the ball. Yeah. Palace, the thing with Palace defenders is the DEFCON more than the clean sheet. Is Mateta going to even be a differential anymore? No, he's in 16.5% teams. No, his days of differential are gone. Kukurea, Chelsea going by. Yes. The fixtures are still not too bad. But they keep getting red cards. Annoying. Is there news in Isak? I have Ekitike. Honestly, if you have Ekitike, I probably play Ekitike. I think Liverpool should also just play Ekitike. He's the better striker on form at the moment. So I think they should just play Ekitike. But at this moment, wasn't Isak injured or something? If I'm not mistaken, there's no update on it. I don't have any update on Isak at the moment. I would just keep Ekitike for now. Don't really have much of an update on Ekitike. Is Sa an underrated pick or just a counter-attack monster? I would say he's more of a counter-attack monster. I've owned Sa last season. It was horrible to own Sa, especially when Eze was doing what Eze was doing last season. It was so annoying. So annoying. Now that I have him this season again, I'm going to think like, I'm going to keep wondering that whether getting Sa was the right answer or not. It's just that the fixtures are there, so I can't ignore it. And obviously, he went and scored 2 goals. Now watch him scored 2 goals against Liverpool and now just not get anything for the upcoming fixtures. I don't know. We'll see. But I probably put him in the counter-attacking monster more than an underrated pick. Is he underrated? No, I think we kind of rate him fairly enough, to be honest. I don't think we underrate him too much. Honestly, like maybe Delap, but definitely Palmer back. Pedro is a buy. Afghan, Mateta, maybe a sell. Deveni is the backup. Ismail Safsa. Yeah, but by then two Palace defenders are by. Yeah, probably no Sa. Palace attack drops. That could be true. Yes, that I would probably agree with. No Sa means Palace attack does take a dip. But for now, Sa is going to be there. Like the fixtures are good for him till AFCON, right? After AFCON, the fixtures are still not too bad, but like by then you're probably looking for other options as well. And actually, by then you're probably selling Palace because, especially for those of you who don't have a free hit, you're probably selling Palace because they've potentially blank in Game Week 17. So kind of like ups and downs. Sargos, Palace defenders are best pick then. Yeah, because they'll become more defensive potentially. Sa versus Enzo, who would you go for? Sa versus Enzo, I would go for Sa. Slightly better longer term fixtures. So I'd probably go for Sa on that pick. Surely. Why do I keep pressing the free hit chip? Oh, it's right there, no wonder. Sa versus Enzo. Yeah, I go for Sa. Slightly better longer term pictures, right? Lot man, check XG from when Sa's on the pitch from when he's not. Oh, that I can't find it immediately. That's going to take a few proper check-ins. But yeah, I'd probably take your word for that. All right. So that is basically what I have. This is how the team looks like. Now, I should update you guys about deadline stream. What time is deadline? Deadline is at 12:30 for me, which means okay. So deadline stream on the Saturday. There is a chance that it's probably only a 1 hour deadline stream. Because I'll basically be landing. I'll land basically when usually the deadline stream would start when I land at in Sydney, which means it'll take me a bit of time to try to get to home as well. So that's going to eat up in the time of the deadline stream. So maybe we might have a 1 hour deadline stream potentially. So you guys will have to kind of keep your notifications on because I'll suddenly go live without any scheduling of stream most likely. So just letting you guys know about that. Any further questions? If not, I think I might look to end it a short stream today because I kind of have to get up early tomorrow as well still, because still kind of traveling. So we'll need to get up early morning tomorrow as well. But any questions? Any questions from anyone? Last few questions before we look to end. No, I mean later to see how much different. Okay, fine. 1 hour deadline stream until the deadline. Yes. So basically this is 12:30 for me, or whichever time. When you guys look at the FPL app, just add 1 hour before for the deadline stream. Score prediction for Chelsea versus Tottenham game. Ooh, what are the head-to-head results before? So far score. What's been their past? Let's see. Have a look. I would say 2-1 to Chelsea at the moment. But let's have a look. Where's the picture? All right, head to head. Last 10 matches, Chelsea have won 8 of them with 1 draw and 1 win to Spurs. Yeah, 2-1 to Chelsea. 2-1 to Chelsea is what I'm going for. And he's going 2-1 Chelsea as well. Yep. United and Mbuemo back. Well, Mbuemo has always been a pretty decent pick. Are United back? I would say I haven't seen there's been a slight adjustment in tactics from United since the Sunderland game. They have had a slight adjustment in tactics. But for the most case, I think we've still been playing how we've been playing since the start of the season. I would say there was a level of unluckiness and not finishing chances at the start of the season. But now, because the team has confidence, they're finishing more of their chances that they weren't doing at the start of the season. Are they back? I probably wouldn't say that yet. If we can go, 5 games on a win, where we beat Forest and we beat Spurs as well. And then the guy who hasn't been able to get a haircut for such a long time finally manages to get himself a haircut. Then I'd say we're in a pretty decent position. Although, in terms of being back, guessing like what potentially getting a European spot, we'll see after if we can beat Spurs. Spurs have been the boogie team over the last 2 years at least. They've beaten United pretty often, maybe in most cases. So if you beat Forest, if you beat Spurs, then we'll think about it. But for now, I'd say we're still playing the same way we were playing earlier. Just that now we're finishing our chances compared to before we went. So nothing too much. Like if you see Man United without Casemiro on the pitch, you see a lot of like things exposed, like midfield gets exposed and all of that when Casemiro is not on the pitch. So he's very important. But yeah, Man United are better and they're having a better luck. Yeah, I would say better luck. Yes, I would agree. Feel like Chelsea are going to be shocked by Frank, but their home record isn't that great. Yeah, that's the thing. Spurs' home record. If Spurs were away from home, I might have said a draw was on the cards if they were away from home. But at home, their record hasn't been that great. So yeah, maybe better than Brighton and Bournemouth and Newcastle. ATM. Brighton, yes, I would say. Bournemouth, ooh, very close, that one. Newcastle, maybe somewhat on par with Newcastle, the way Newcastle are playing. I think Bournemouth are still slightly, I think they're a better team at the moment in terms of how they're playing. Elite has upgraded significantly this season. I think a lot of players kind of have. Oh, well, yes, Elite has. I think getting the attackers we got was definitely very helpful. Like Mbuemo and Cunha they're just different gravy. So yeah, I think that has helped a lot. Next game fixture and what score you all think? Which fixture are we talking about? Just about, yeah. Alright, I think we will look to end it. Seems like Haaland is the popular captaincy option from you guys. But there's a few Saka options and a few Bruno, Mateta, Sa, Gabriel shouts. And I think the other was from Mikel, who's on Mbuemo as well. Start of the season, you would say no. Yeah, I'd probably say so. Yeah, I agree with you. Biggest upset this week. Ooh. Does Liverpool losing at home to Aston Villa count as an upset? I still think Liverpool might potentially. I think there's a draw on the cards for that one. Biggest upset. Man City, maybe? Man City, Bournemouth as a draw? Man City, Bournemouth potentially as a draw? Would that be an upset? I'd probably put it on that one. I don't know. I think Aston Villa should, the way Liverpool are playing, Aston Villa probably should potentially win this game. Bournemouth versus City is a possibility. Yeah, I think so. I think there could be something in that. The other one, which I won't be surprised if happens, West Ham beat Newcastle. What do we think? West Ham beating Newcastle. I will not be surprised if that happens. Because Newcastle away record hasn't been the best necessarily. Gunners 3-1, Burnley will score 1. Ooh, that'll be interesting. Bournemouth win maybe by 3-2, or even a 2-2 game between them. Won't be surprised. Sunderland beating Everton. I don't think that'll be much of an upset. Sunderland beating Everton. West Ham beating Newcastle might be. West Ham ain't beating anyone apart from Bulls. I feel bad, but you never know. I'm telling you now. You heard it here first. If that actually happens, I'm gonna clip this and Make that into a YouTube short after it happens. Two Newcastle away are half as good as at home. Always been the same. Fair enough. All right, I think we'll end it there. I will see y'all for a 1 hour deadline stream probably. If it goes less than 1 hour, it still will happen. The deadline stream will happen. I just can't tell you whether it's going to be a 1 hour or a 45 minutes. Just depends on how fast I get home. So yeah, so we'll wait and see. And this is assuming my plane doesn't get delayed. If my plane gets delayed, then we're kind of screwed. Then potentially I do a tiny deadline stream before I take the flight, which means it'll be a very earlier deadline stream than the usual start time as well. So yeah, we'll see how we go. So just have your notifications on for that when that happens. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Shout out to Shubharan, Andy. I didn't get a comment from Manikwan. I don't know what happened. Chad, Nick, who else? Manikwan as well. Sam, Mikkel, Manish, Freddie, who will be watching this later. And anyone else as well, if you are watching, thank you very much. Tin as well, and Storm as well. Thank you all for watching. All of you who've been watching in the background as well, shout out to all of you. I will see you all on Saturday. Don't know what time yet, but I will see you all, so make sure you have your notifications turned on. Until then, have a great day everyone, and enjoy the Friday as well tomorrow. Have a great Friday. Until then, peace out.